All right. So topic of the podcast, entrepreneurs who train, the athlete professional blueprint, right?
So definitely look at this guy.
So our first major key focus is the dual life, athlete first, professional always. Topic number one, how we train like athletes while running companies. So Trevor, what does your weekly training schedule look like on top of your professional workload?
I remember, I fell victim to this too, because I'm sure everybody did it at some point when you graduate from college or whatever, when you start moving into like your career, you think that you have to give it like every moment. And if you do anything outside of it, that you're not giving your most, at least is how I felt. And maybe I'm just crazy, but I felt like I wasn't giving the most I could to the company. So I was like burning the candle at both ends, trying to get up, do all this stuff. But what I figured out was that letting my body go was actually worse. And I was getting tireder. So I wasn't able to work as much. And then I flipped that switch after I got fat, like 238 at 28% body fat. And, someone sends you that photo of like, remember when you look like this? What happened to me? So I just made that commitment to get up in the morning. And it didn't start at 6 and 5 in the morning. It started off as me just getting up. At the beginning, I remember I would get up at 7 instead of like 7:30. And I would just get up and I was walking at first and I was doing like a light jog. I couldn't even jog a mile and my shin splints were brutal. And then I got a little better and went and got custom shoes and all that kind of stuff. And then I remember I was training to do the Ironman, all this kind of stuff. And started losing the weight. I was like, holy crap, this is actually possible. And getting up at 7 all of a sudden wasn't a challenge anymore. Then I got up at 6:30 and then, now I get up at 5:30 every day. But now it's the opposite. If I don't get my workout in, I feel like I didn't complete my day now.
Yeah.
So the excuse does not work. With mobile technology, I get it. If you had to be in an office or you are a surgeon, I get it. You might get stuck, replacing a heart or something like that. You can't exactly be like, hold on, let me just get a couple sets in between. But for us, you could go and read an NDA and go, okay, page set, and you can get a workout still in and still do work if you're behind.
Absolutely. Yeah. So training, when it comes to strength training for bodybuilding for you specific, it's definitely impacted your work performance in a positive way, right?
Yeah. It's what helped me grow my business first, because I was still doing alcohol sales and the peptide industry and all that was just like, it was fun. It was new. No one knew what it was. And I always like things that I like reactions. That's why I kind of do gimmicky, dumb stuff. That's why I put dreadlocks in one day and now I got stuck with them because everybody tells me I can't take them out. I loved itching my head and that doesn't happen anymore. But, the getting and training and I pump, the iron thing, right? But it really is just, if I'm going to do a show, I'll do cardio. But otherwise, I love eating. And if I do any cardio, I just start shrinking and I shrink muscle mass. I don't really have a whole lot of fat to work off. If I did have more, like if I didn't have a six pack, yeah, I'd get on a treadmill and do 30 minutes on the treadmill. I don't mind doing it. It's just that is more time. I put an hour and a half in every single day.
Mm. And it's not conducive to your body type, right? So like you have certain genetics, he has certain genetics, I do. Yeah. So we're all different.
Yeah. What's your ambition? Like me, I just kind of like looking like a Viking right now.
Mm.
It's not a bad goal.
No, I've never had a beard before. Like that. Ask my mom. You'll see her at Thanksgiving tomorrow. My mom, when I showed up one day, she goes, where did that come from? I go, I don't know. She goes, you've never been able to grow facial hair. Like if I let my hair grow for a year, it looked like a dirty patch of like this, and then it was all like different colors. I had like red down here, black here, and white here.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden one day I just like, let me see if I can grow a beard again after a couple of years of 3-4 years of not trying again. And it kind of just filled in. And then I did the hair and I'm like, I guess I just keep letting the beard grow with it.
It suits for sure.
I still think it doesn't look good on me compared to like, look at that.
I feel like it's a company policy now.
You kind of
have some sort of facial hair.
I think Scott can't grow it. He is so screwed.
You got to take him to Turkey.
Yeah.
Take him to Turkey, get a beard transplant. So being an athlete entrepreneur, right? How do peptides specifically make that lifestyle sustainable, right?
Well, we talk about like optimizing the body. And I remember, Kave was working for me in the very beginning for trading peptides, right? And it was for him, he's like, I can't ever put on weight. I can't do it. So like his goal was like, I need to put on weight. And he put on like 20 pounds or something like that.
Yeah, 25 pounds.
Of like from using IGF-1, right? So that's one of hundreds of peptides we make, right? For me, the less so like the physical fit pieces. Now, don't get me wrong. I still think growth hormone was like the greatest thing on earth. That's what I started with when I hurt myself. But for me, the brain peptides, that's what I did. I took growth hormone and 6 brain peptides because that was how I would get through the day and remember everything I was trying to do. And everybody forgets things, but I clearly remember after being on like Semax and Selank, oxytocin for a couple months, someone was talking to me about, oh, like, do those things really work? I go, honestly, yeah, I couldn't remember anybody's name for the life of me. And I would always forget if I didn't write everything down. And then all of a sudden it clicked. Like I was able to remember like my task list without always writing it down. I get to, 4 p.m, be like, I still got to get that, and that done. Whereas before I'd have to look on a piece of paper.
Yeah, that's phenomenal because you just touched on the next subject, which is what can people do that are entrepreneurs that do train to combat professional burnout and also athletic burnout, right? And I think you touched on a key point there.
Yeah,
right?
they do both. I mean, you do. I mean, you guys train way harder than I do. I mean, you guys still fit your butts in the gym every once in a while, but then you go out and wrestle people to death.
That was us last night.
Exactly.
Getting this guy ready for Worlds.
I know. I can't wait. That's what, next month?
Yeah, it's December 11th. Yeah.
Are we out there for A4M again?
I believe so.
The same time?
That weekend. Yeah.
So we don't listen to what he says the schedule is.
Yeah.
No, I flew in last time trying to go, and
we all did.
Yeah, I landed when you guys took the photo of it being over.
You were and we were walking the doors. He was walking out.
Yeah.
So we're not listening to him. We're going to get there a day early. We're just going to show up and sit in the stands.
Oh, I appreciate
He's
it.
coming out sometime here. I love this guy. You do not like attention. Yet look at you. You scream attention.
He's the nicest guy ever.
Yeah.
But he looks super mean.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Yeah. But no, like, you're like, oh, we want to come. He's like, no, you guys don't have to go. Like, no, we want to go. You're like, no, it's okay. You guys don't have to go. We're showing up, bro. We want to come. We want to watch you. So
I appreciate it. It means a lot. I think this year is going to be a fun one. I think they're starting early, so it'd be good to get there early.
I know. I'm getting in the day before.
Appreciate it.
I'm going to walk over with you. And I'll sit in the stands and patiently just answer 4,000 emails.
He'll be in your corner.
Yeah.
Towel, water, ready to go.
That's all I'm good for. I can't sure as hell done. Be like, sweep the leg, Johnny. Get him.
So the discipline that we build in the gym, right? How does it show up in the workplace?
It's the same. I mean, if it's a mindset thing. So entrepreneurship, and I heard someone say something. They say, I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm a success story. And I go, oh, that's actually kind of good because entrepreneurs don't always win. I mean, I've failed a couple of times, right?
Yeah, so
it just means you like banging your head against the wall trying to figure something out. You're an entrepreneur. You don't want to go work for everybody else. But people that are like really good at getting my buddy Anthony, I mean, that guy just everything he's ever touched, he's figured it out, right? And I think that mentality for him, it's the same in both sides because I saw him when he was not in shape either. And one day he's like, screw this, I'm going to get in shape. And he just takes that same drive. It's like, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it all the way. And keeping the body in shape and the brain in shape and, every piece, because, there's a lot going on. I think that if you're a highly successful person, I think in general nowadays, I think both correlate very well and people take them to both, at least now over before, just because I think it still goes down the whole, everything's more mobile and also everything's easier to understand. Whereas before, I don't know about you. When I started bodybuilding, I was reading magazines on trying to figure out like the right way to bodybuild. There wasn't even the internet. So you're sitting there going, okay, cool. I don't know, freaking Ronnie Coleman, Jay Cutler, all these guys, Lee Priest. And you're like, oh, this is Lee Priest's bicep. I thought his biggest bicep. So I'm going to try using his. Then Arnold's was he left a weight off. And so it automatically turned his bicep to use both. Everybody had all these little things, but you never really knew what worked well. And if you're someone that's once again busy, maybe you don't have the time to research. Like I'll go to the gym, but you weren't doing a good job at it. Right. Yeah. So you just kind of stall. A lot of people stall for a long time. Like my parents' generation, they looked good, but no one looks like now. People look like fake superheroes. Now I know why people get addicted to Instagram because I've never been on until we started doing this. And because of my thing, I get corgis and ripped people and watches every once in a while. I'm like, all right, I guess that's what I like. Right now I said that. Something's going to come through. And I don't get on there that often. I kind of check through and make sure I answer my friends. But I'm looking through and I look at it and go, wow, there are so many amazingly fit people on this planet. It's insane compared to like the level of fitness
Yeah.
that they can do. And it's not just physically looking a certain way. Like you watch like David Goggins running 50 miles. Like, I mean, like just these things I just
Can't
didn't,
even run one. Yeah.
I didn't think these things were happening. I know you, and what was that one? The one about the girl that swam across English Channel,
Oh yeah.
Girl in the Water or something like that. What a great film. But you look at like a story like that, the fact that, and I'm sure a lot of people, and I'm just ignorant in this case, but the fact that I knew of her and what a challenge that seems like, okay, yeah, that sounds very challenging because I know I can't do it. But to actually see that story and what happened, how she got drugged and almost like, and she just crushed every man on earth. You look at that and you go, people are able to get past, it took her so long to do that and that story to come out. But now the stories you get to hear those stories instantaneously. So people always now have the motivation to go, well, if they can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
So I think it, like I said, entrepreneurship, business, hey, if he can make $1 billion, I'm smart enough. I'm going to make $1 billion. I think there's that mentality that goes also into the gym.
Yeah.
Anything gym wise.
There's elements of physical hardship, and then mental fortitude too, right? And I think we get that a lot in different areas, whether it's in the workplace or whether it's in the gym. But how do those two elements come together in the workplace for you, right? Like the physical hardship, the mental fortitude from what you get from training, and how do you apply that in terms of the leadership you give to, everyone working at all your companies?
I think basically there's two questions that I can answer that. When I'm training for a show, you all hate me, and if I don't train, you all hate me. So it's like a perfect
Trevor
balance.
You don't want to hate.
Yeah. So basically, if I just train normal, I'm usually in a better mood.
Yeah.
When I train for a competition, I turn into a dick again.
Yeah.
And if I don't train that day, I feel like I didn't get my testosterone, enough of it out of me in the morning. So I'm just kind of more aggressive through the day.
Well, one's because you're not eating, when you're actually training for a show, you're not getting all your yogurt land and everything in there.
Yeah, I do love my yogurt.
But I just want to build off of what you said. I think what a lot of people don't realize, whether it's work, play, the gym, at the end of the day, it's just you versus yourself, right? And if you can overcome that first hurdle, everything else gets easier. Like I always tell young, law students, whatever it may be, sign up for a martial art, because in the profession you're picking, whether it's being a doctor, a lawyer, a real estate agent, something successful, you're going to have to public speak. There's always going to be someone bigger and better than you. So why don't you just get used to getting your butt kicked? Because if you're comfortable knowing that there's always someone bigger or better, you're always going to strive to be better version of yourself. And as long as you're, putting that brick by brick, building that home mentally, that mental fortitude, I think life gets a lot easier. But that's where people don't understand the work-life balance or the working out and work balance. Because when you go to the gym, for example, I see Trevor there all the time. He's by himself. He's got his headphones in. He's not looking for social affirmation or any of that. It's just him versus the weight. And if he can beat that weight, the rest of his day gets much easier.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like when me and you go to jujitsu, the first time I met this guy, I always tell this story.
Totally body slammed you.
Yeah. I literally ended up on his shoulders and I was like, holy crap, I could die right now.
I honestly just made that up. I didn't know that was where that was going to go, but I just could see.
So I literally
proving a point to you.
Yeah. I was very tenacious. I was fresh out of law school. I was 170 pounds. I go in, I see this gorilla at 225, 230, and I'm just doing everything to take this guy down. And he's just flicking me off. Nothing's really happening.
This year, by the way.
Right now I weigh 243.
Yeah, I'm
Boy,
220.
yeah.
Even now I'm 220 and he still just flicks me off like a little
5
fly.
inches taller than him too.
I actually tried cutting down. So this is not my normal division. This is ultra heavyweight.
Yeah.
So it starts, the minimum weight you have to be is 215, but then there's no limit to the weight class. So I tried my best for like the last 3 months cutting down. But the problem is for me, for my body type, if I get anywhere like close to 10% body fat, my cardio suffers.
Yeah. I think that's where you lacked last year.
Yeah.
You just complained the whole time your cardio.
Yeah. It was horrible, atrocious.
It's a weird formula.
Well, everybody's body is different too.
Yeah.
I mean, I talk to people are always like, oh, what, give me what you do. And I go, what I do doesn't work for everybody.
Right.
Because I tell people all the time, they go, you must have a clean diet.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I eat a lot of good food and clean foods. I like Greek yogurts. I like egg whites. Like I don't really see, and maybe since I lost my sense of taste for like a year that one time, and I just started eating things that were healthy. For me, an egg white and a whole egg taste identical.
Mm.
And I don't know if it's mental or I just still don't have all the taste buds, but I don't see it. And when I go to eat like a yogurt that most people associate yogurt, I have to mix Greek yogurt in it because it's too sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the guy that wants to eat 14 pounds of Dairy Queen.
Right.
So it's not a problem with sweet. I just look at it and go, I know what's in here. It's not good for me. And I enjoy the other one just as much. So, okay, I got this parfait. I'll go grab a Greek yogurt and I'll scoop one or even two Greek yogurts in there and mix it all together and kind of balance it out.
And I ended up on this guy's shoulders and I'm looking down at the floor and I'm like, I could die right now.
Yeah.
So
6 feet in the air.
I approach him after the gym. I was like, hey dude, can I work out with you? and I think that like, it just carries on, for example, in court, I'm in front of the judge, other attorneys, district attorneys, whatever it may be. If I've spent the night before getting beat up by a 245-pound world champion jiu-jitsu guy, you think I really care what you're going to throw at me? It makes life so much easier
mentally
when you face that adversity. Or I just squatted or leg press 6 plates on each side. You think this is really going to bother me? I already fought my demons today. This is nothing.
Yeah. And like you said, internally, that's always your worst critic. I talk a lot in public. I get on stage and everyone's like, you do so good. You're really good at it. And I go, every single time though, I get scared to death.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm afraid to do it now that I don't think I can do it. I think it's being prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's also like when you go to the gym, being prepared and actually knowing what you're going to achieve. Otherwise you get let down.
Yeah.
When you let yourself down in public speaking, you walk off embarrassed, maybe even might lose some business or credibility, which is a lot. But when you go to these people that go to the gym and aren't prepared to actually do the workout and do the work, they never get the result and they fail that way. And then they just stop going in. It's like the weekend warrior, or guess what? January's right around the corner. The gym's going to have 10 times as many people in it. It's going to bug the hell out of me. Now you get about a month.
Yeah.
And then people just get tired and go, oh, I'm not seeing anything happen. And when I say be prepared, using peptides is a massive tool. And eating correctly in those situations for what you need to do. So eating at the right times. If you take the same amount of calories that you eat in a day and you just write it all down, I bet you I could reformulate how you eat that and you would lose weight by changing nothing. Just because people don't eat correctly even through the day. So by going to the gym, being prepared for what you're trying to achieve in the gym. So if you are trying to cut weight, try working out fasted. I know it's hard. Okay, go online, buy some BCAAs, buy a pre-workout. I mean, there's pre-workouts that aren't pumped full of nasty chemicals and caffeines. I take those ones because they taste better and I'm going to die anyway. But I do enough good things. I feel like I can have my really flavorful fruit punch, pre-workout. But, don't eat 1,100 calories and then go to the gym and wonder why you're not trimming down. You're building muscle tissue probably. Maybe you're going to start looking better. If you weigh 250 pounds and you're 5'10", you're kind of that bowling ballish look. Mm-hmm. If you work out for a year and you're still 250 pounds at 5'10", but you've put the work in, but you didn't do anything about cutting the fat off, you're just going to look like a really swollen bowling ball.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because the muscle, you never get there. That 250 needs to come down. Very few people. I mean, even, like Mr. Olympia this year, Derek, the dude is what, 5'8"?
Yeah, he's not that.
He's like 220 on stage.
Yeah.
If you want to get jacked, that guy's 220. People look at him and go, oh, that guy's got to be 300 pounds. I'm like, no, when he is 300 pounds, he does not look anything like that.
Yeah.
If you have massive amounts of weight that you need to get off, pick up a GLP. It probably will help you because a lot of people do have eating problems, and that is hard. I mean, I have food eating problems. I just got a little luckier, right? But curb the craze. Don't overdo it. Don't make yourself sick. But like a milligram or 2, even a week. Just mix like a milligram into your routine twice a week. Way under. I mean, like tirzepatide starts at 2.5. Do less. But if you just lightly, casually put something like that into your mix, you won't really see too much of like a negative effect from those things. You just like, okay, I'm not starving all the time, which might be good. And then you can just focus on eating smaller meals throughout the day and keep your metabolism going. And then going to the gym, you'll just see that weight really shoot off quick.
Right.
And I trust me, I'm not a GLP guy. I never have been. I've been talking about it from the beginning that I use every other tool but GLPs in my diet. But I would use it towards the end of bodybuilding shows because otherwise I'm just so hungry and hangry.
Yeah. Takes the edge off, right?
For me, I just felt like I couldn't do my job.
Yeah.
I think everything you're just saying is just do it with purpose.
Yeah. As long as you have a purpose.
Yeah.
Put a plan together in your head. Just don't go to the gym and be like, all right, cool, I'm here.
And the element
should
you touched on, there was an element you touched on when you said before you go on stage for public speaking, before you go on stage for a bodybuilding show, right? It's important to have that fear that you mentioned. That fear is important. Why? It's because all of us, especially men, we have egos, and those egos, there's variations to the ego depending on who you are, but having that fear and putting yourself in difficult situations really allows that ego to be brought down, and you're able to really see things for what they really are. So you can adjust accordingly, right? Like doing something physical helps you also build tenacity, right? Why do you need tenacity, and where does that transfer to in the workplace, right? Being tenacious as an entrepreneur is very, very important. You're very tenacious, right? You're very tenacious. And why? Because you put yourself in difficult situations outside of the workplace, and then you're able to correlate that tenacity that you had in the gym to the workplace, in accordance with the situation that you're in, right?
Well, they always say like, you got to make yourself uncomfortable.
Yeah.
If you want to grow.
Yeah.
Because if it ain't comfortable, or if it is comfortable, you're probably not growing. And that's for every part of life. In the gym, most of your best work is that last 1 rep.
Right.
So the 11 reps or 12 reps you did before that mean just as much as that last one.
Yeah.
The last one.
It sucks the most.
It does, but that's the one that is 50% of your work.
Yeah.
That last one. So when you're like, I don't know, hurt yourself, but, and it's the same thing for business. It's that extra hour that just sucks sometimes, but you got to do it. It's that business trip, and people go, Jesus, are you ever home? It's like, no, I haven't been right lately, but we've had things we have to get done. So we've gone on trips. You have a new child, and you went to DC with us when we went to Maha, right?
It's pretty crazy. I think you've spent more time in hotel beds than your own bed this year.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I was gone the entire month of October. I came back for 4 days, and then I jumped on a plane on Friday. I flew to Arlington. I was in Arlington Friday, well, technically Saturday morning because it was a red eye. So I kept Saturday morning, Sunday, and then I moved to DC proper on Monday, Tuesday, flew out Wednesday. No, we had Maha on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Then I flew out early Thursday morning to Charleston. So I did Charleston Thursday, Friday, had our company party. Saturday was like a whatever day. Then I flew Sunday to Georgia, to Atlanta, to meet with the 2 owners of the 2 different pharmacies we're getting involved in.
Yeah.
So Integrity, met with them. And then I also met.
Pharma-Rx.
And then, we went to the Atlanta Falcons game, which I really didn't want to have to get up any earlier in the day to get on a 6 a.m. flight. But I did because we invested in a pharmacy with the owner of the Falcons and the coach. It's cool. We got to go in the coach's box. So we hang out with his wife the whole time. Sweetest human being on earth. So we went to that, then went over to Integrity. Then I flew back at 10 o'clock that night and then threw all my crap in it again. I was actually super sick by this point.
Yeah.
And then because I had our new chemist, Brian, coming in. Brian's in. Felt bad because it was his birthday. I was so sick. I had to send him off to go to the lab by himself. I gave him a car. But then I flew out Monday to Grand Junction, Colorado. Grand Junction on Monday, Tuesday. Flew Wednesday from Grand Junction to Orlando to speak in that event. Spent 2 days set for the event. Then I flew from there to Vegas Friday night to entertain some of our biggest clients and people for F1, and then flew home Monday. I was gone for 17 days.
Yeah, and it's funny because people call me when they're mad that they can't get a hold of you. It's like, you do realize the only time I talk to this guy is when he's in between airplanes or, he's on a bathroom break for some speaking event.
Right.
And then they get mad at me. And you want friends who are busy. You don't want people who are complicit in your life, right? I mean, for example, some of my best meetings with Ash are when we're at the gym because that's like that one little window of time in between reps. It's like, oh, by the way, did you get this email or did you look at that? Or after we're done choking each other out at jujitsu, there's that like 10 minutes, 20 minutes before we got to go home where we cram, 3 weeks worth of conversation because we know we're not going to see each other for a while because everyone's busy.
Yeah. Well, I
And
mean,
you're
they're
not
crazy too with all the, like, they work at night.
Yeah.
Like, so they have to be around during the day to listen to all of us bitch at them about all the stuff we need them to do. And they just kind of store it all. And then right around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, they go, okay, now we can start this because no one's going to interrupt us except us wanting information. But I mean, I think our best work times have been the things we started doing were Tuesdays. We meet at like 4:30 at night.
Yeah.
Goes till 8.
Yeah.
I mean, no one wants to work till 8 o'clock after we all got up at 5. Well, I get up at 5:30. You might get up a little late because you guys work later than me in that sense. But, I get up at 5:30 and I'm instantly on the phone getting ready. It sucks to be working at 8:30, and then you guys get finished, and then I jump on my computer till 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night because you gave me all that information. We go over all the information, then I got to send all the emails out. Not to mention, from 5:38, I usually get about another 100 emails, so I got to get back to all those people. And those days are long and rough, but they're easier, I feel, when I get my time in the gym at least.
Right.
Because then I'm like, at least I did something today for myself.
Yeah.
Well, there's two things. Shout out to Ramad because he always responds to my emails at like 1 or 2 in the morning.
Yeah, you guys are nuts.
Unbelievable.
You guys start blowing me up. And I'm like silent.
But I tell people this all the time. They're like, oh, so like, how are your weekends? I was like, I don't have days off. I have windows of time where I'm free.
Yeah, I pick and choose things that I want to do, and I slot those in, and I try to ignore it as much as
I'm
possible.
working Saturdays, Sundays. I was at Trevor's house this morning at 8 a.m. He's on 4 different Zoom meetings.
Yeah, I had 9 people in my house.
Yeah, so it's not people think this entrepreneur lifestyle or owning your own business or being highly successful,
Being part of a successful startup,
it means like, oh, you're eating sushi, you're flying on planes. It's like, no. I have no life.
Yeah.
I have a window of time, 1 or 2 hours where I'm lucky enough if I can go have dinner with my wife.
You have to do it though.
Yeah. But
It's so important for you.
But it's not like I have a whole day off where I can go do laundry, go to the park and hang out, go watch the football game.
Oh, I'm so excited to go home and do laundry.
But honestly,
I've been just wearing the same clothes. I ran out of clothes like 6 days in. Luckily in Charleston, I have a house, so I was able to do some of my laundry. But even then, it didn't work out right. I ran out. I was recycling socks, and I just stopped wearing underwear about 4 days before the end of my trip.
There's times where I have to just order underwear on Amazon.
I do too. I Amazon stuff to my hotel hall, but it got so bad I had to go and delete everything because I ordered my my ice cream maker to the Ritz-Carlton in DC on accident, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, we can't find it." I'm like, "It's a $400 freaking ice cream maker." And then Chelsea's so nice, she's like, "Oh, I'll go down and get it for you." And I'm like, "Hey, gone. No one's giving me my ice cream machine." But I did that to a lot of things. I got to Charleston and I opened up my package. I'm like, that's where my amino acids were. I just shipped them there because you keep on, like, you run out of stuff. Yeah. And then you forget, like, I never changed the default address. Amazon, if you hear this. Yeah. Somehow I never changed the default address. It's always my home. Yet somehow stuff always shows up in my old hotels. I probably spent $10,000 on other people getting my stuff this year.
But if you think about it, right, I don't think any of us would have it any other way, right?
No,
this life, like I don't think you want a day to go to the park, I don't think you want a day to go do whatever.
Well, I say that, and then I do. I'm like, this is so boring.
Yeah,
but you do need. I usually just end up crashing.
Yeah,
which is probably not the best. Where my body just shuts down. Like that's why I sound like this. But yeah, like those days, you're like, I just want to go hang out at the park. Like, not really. If I can not do that, every once in a while, your body just goes, no. You like just like when you overtrain, or you get done, your body's just like, you're not going to the gym today.
Yeah.
Like, okay, listen. And those are the days you go to the park, you do your laundry, you get on and order some food. You just kind of go, I am at home and I should be cooking because I'm actually not busy. I have time, but no, I just really just need to mold into the couch for.
Get some Panda Express.
Yep, I got that today.
Call it a day.
Yeah. But yeah, you have to do it.
Yeah. No, so this is a good segue into why professionals who train recover differently, right? So recovery is, for the most part, harder for people like us because we are in the gym training. We are out and about, going to events, doing things. We do have a hectic work schedule. So what does that look like in the context of peptides and how we can implement that in our lives to make ourselves recover?
Recovery? look at this.
Yeah.
We're like the Terminators.
Yeah.
Just shoot us and we whoop, go right back. No, I always say I never get sick until I get sick, right? Like I got sick for a couple of days, but if I sound like this, which sucks because there's just stuff stuck in here, but when I got really sick and I couldn't stop, I literally injected a full bottle of LO37 complex, a full bottle of TA1 complex, the double dose ones. And then next day I got an IV, and luckily Rebecca's she's so freaking cool. Tall redhead Rebecca.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Tracy talks to her. So she's like, oh my God, I hear you're dying right now. I'm like, what? Fine. She's like, I have a friend who owns an IV store in Grand Junction. I'm like, wow. What? She knows everybody. This dude shows up in my hotel at 8 a.m.
This is in South Dakota.
No, this is in Grand Junction, Colorado. It's like a week ago.
Okay.
Literally a week ago. Week and a half. And he just shows up and I go, I know you probably aren't allowed to give me like 1 or 2 grams of vitamin C, but I need it all. He took the entire bottle. He had 14 grams of vitamin C left. I said, pump it in the bag. And I said, I need you to push the LO37 and the TA1 right into my bloodstream while this is going.
Yeah.
And then the next day I did LO37 and TA1 complex in. The next day I could speak on stage. I had no voice.
Yeah.
The next day I felt fine. And then I was able to go to Vegas too. And I actually put myself to bed a couple of nights earlier because I knew I was still kind of battling with it. And we have Thanksgiving this week. But peptides are like, your recovery is insane. Like for physically, all the growth hormone, GHRH, GHRP, sessamorelin, CJC, MK677, BPC, TB500, anything in that range, GHK-Cu. Like even that is massive for inflammation and recovery. All these things are going to help you get through the gym. But if the body's right, the mind's right too. Like it only takes one thing to ruin your day. If you step on a piece of glass, it's one little piece of pain, right? But if you're at a pool, it's ruining your pool day. You know what I mean? Like you think about something so, like if you have a headache, you can't work. Kristen gets devastated. Like we got to figure out migraines with peptides. That would be a huge one because migraines, I've never seen a girl go down so hard in my life, puking her ass off.
It's debilitating.
It's debilitating. So we have enough of these peptides now that we can at least trigger responses that help us, whether it be stomach pain, inflammation, tiredness, all these things are energy, mitochondrial function. And that's the other thing. Even if you're not using peptides, the whole fact, if you are an entrepreneur, get your butt up and go to the gym because a lot of your energy and stimulation of what your body naturally produces to create the mitochondrial function comes from working out. Mm-hmm. You will be more tired the entire day if you don't work out. Now, cardio is a little different in my personal opinion. If you go out and you run 9 miles, you wear out the entire body.
Yeah.
But going to the gym and pumping some weight, walking on a treadmill for getting your heart rate up a little bit, totally different. That will extend into being, you release so much MOTS-c when you're lifting heavy weights. And, we also think I use NAD, but even just people that use Zins with nicotine, I mean, the stimulation you get from that, it's just very short burst. Mm-hmm. You use them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You use them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're going to go other than like me, I'd be like on stage the whole time. I mean, taking a nicotine pouch and jumping on a stage, I think your brain's probably firing 10% faster than it was without it, right? So doing NAD in the morning, going to the gym, getting the blood flowing. Yeah, Jason this morning, he's like, I'm dying right now. I need NAD. Boom. 5 minutes later, he's like, I'm ready. I got energy. We're in the gym, pumped out. He ate all the food this morning. He's like, that was a great workout because we went with Henry too. And Henry, fanny pack guy, he's
with the cool boots.
Yeah. Dude. He showed up to the gym this morning and he's got Andre the Giant oversized striped pants, the ones that like
it's the Ronnie Coleman's.
Is the Ronnie Coleman's. You know what he looks like? He looked like Princess Bride. Freaking Andre the Giant. Yeah. That's what he was wearing this morning with this oversized, weird cutoff shirt thingy. And then I'm like, oh my God, we're working out like this. And then no, he just like fucking snap pants these bad boys off. And he's wearing pink, purple zebra print booty shorts now with a fanny pack. And I'm just like, God, you are so confident. I love you.
I love it. I love it.
So
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, it's so cool.
He's just got his thing. He's jacked
Yeah.
too, by the way.
Phenomenal shape. Yeah, yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
he in the bed, he was like, oh, I'm like, Jesus, bro, you're making, I feel so out of shape right now. He's in good shape.
There was this you know that injury you had to your knee?
Yeah.
What was the stack that
Oh,
you
yeah.
took? Because
You were
I was there the
gone.
night it happened. I was there at the gym like 2 days later when you walked in on crutches and you had the whole knee brace.
Mhm.
And I was there a month later when you
Yeah.
were squatting more weight than me.
Yeah.
After
I'm like, yeah, have you started using
Yeah.
BCAAs? They're like, no, not yet. I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
like
it was
the
him.
progression, I saw the injury, I saw the knee brace, and I saw him, you know, squatting my body weight for reps. What stack did you take? Because like I need to write this on my wall.
Yeah,
so it was
you
him.
came back so fast.
Yeah. So I told him, or I think he found out about my injury, right? So obviously, like everyone knows BPC and TB, right? But the protocol he had me on was I was injecting BPC 3 times a day. So it was BPC in the morning. I was taking 20 units. I reconstituted it with the same amount that's in our dosing guide,
Yeah.
but I was taking 20 units of BPC 3 times a day in the morning, midday, and at night before bed.
20 milligrams?
20 units.
20 units.
20 units. Yeah. I'm not sure what, you know,
That's
I'm not sure what
1 milligram. So you're doing 3 milligrams. But your knee, people always go like, yeah, if you're just like, oh, I got an ache and a pain, 0.5 milligram is all you need of BPC. But, you know, when I was recovering neck injuries, all this stuff, yeah, I was using a milligram
Mhm.
multiple times a day.
Mhm.
It's always a 4-hour half-life. So
Right.
you got a lot of trauma going on. Yes,
Yeah.
use some more. That's
So you're taking about 3 milligrams a day of BPC?
Yeah.
Okay.
Morning, afternoon, night. And then I was taking TB 500. Normally, he tells people to take TB 1 full bottle once a week. He had me take it twice a week on the same days I inject my testosterone. So I was taking a full bottle of TB 500, the highest dose bottle,
Yeah.
on Mondays and Thursdays. And then I was taking IGF-1 every single day at the same time, whether I worked out or not. And then I was taking the 2X blend before I went to bed. So that was my stack combined with my hormones that I take. He had me up my nandrolone a little bit. And then, you know, a month later, I was back in the gym in jujitsu training.
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Listen,
you were like, I have to go in for surgery.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Everything.
Dude,
They're like, yeah, you need to.
every
No,
single
any-
doctor.
Every
I went,
doctor, you need full.
yeah, I went to the ortho. That's the ortho of the Chargers. And he was like, you have to get surgery. Every
Yeah.
single doctor I went to, you have to get surgery. You have to get surgery. And I had a ramp tear. I had a partial tear in my MCL, partial tear in my ACL.
Dude, your knee was jacked.
It was
Yeah,
wild.
it was-
Your
it was
knee
swollen.
was
Yeah.
a pumpkin.
yeah. It was huge.
Like I remember going, I'm like, oh my God,
Mhm.
are you gonna live? It was bad, man.
he wouldn't let me, but I did offer to throw him on my shoulders.
Yeah.
You know, just carry him around, but he wouldn't let
at the
me.
gym. Yeah.
At the gym.
because I couldn't walk. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Aside from that, I was doing hot cold therapy. And I was spot injecting the BPC. So
Yeah.
I was going right in there with like a shallow IM, like 30 gauge.
I think people don't understand how miraculous this stuff is because, like, I don't know if people have heard the story about Trevor and his broken neck, but it's the reason why I'll never see a chiropractor. But, you know, what actually got me into peptides was a freak accident in college in lacrosse. And they basically said I was done. It was my senior year. I was team captain. I wanted to play it out. We weren't the best team. It was UCI, but we played a lot of cool teams like UCLA, USC.
Yeah.
So we were playing a lot of cool games, but they said, dude, you're done. I said, no. So this is when BPC was first coming out. Like this is 2016. So I did BPC, TB, human growth hormone, testosterone. I took a few, there was something else I took. I forgot. They said I'd be out for 6 months. I was back in 6 weeks and I was able to play out the remainder of my season. Fast forward to law school. I tore my labrum at jujitsu, just being stubborn and not tapping. BPC TB in 2 months, I was fully recovered. The MRIs, even the doctor's like, what are you taking?
Yeah.
I was like, I can't talk about it.
That's
you
what
know?
they always say. What are you taking?
Yeah, they always ask.
He asked me, what did you do? I was like, what happened? I was like, he goes, yeah, you don't need surgery. Like you're healing. I
So-
was like, I've never seen this before.
Yeah, like
I was like, oh, I'm taking all this. He goes, what's that? This is an orthopedic surgeon
Well, yeah,
from the Chargers. What is that?
I-
What is BPC 157?
I explained
Yeah,
this
you
stuff.
think that he has a lot to get his players back on the field, although those are on the water. So
Yeah, I mean, it was really simple. They're like, what are you taking? I was like, I don't know. I heard it on Joe Rogan.
there you go. Blame it on Joe.
Yeah, where'd you get it? I don't know. Joe Rogan told me. And, you know, what people don't understand is like, I think for, you know, Alpha Biomed, everyone has a unique peptide story and relationship to how, you know, why we work and do the things we do and put in the hours. Well, okay, that's just on the recovery side. You throw in the brain stack Trevor's talking about. Like if I take NAD, Selank, Semax, BDNF, I throw in an espresso shot with a nicotine pouch, I'm untouchable.
Dude, yeah.
Like you can't, like, don't talk to me for 8 to 12 hours because I'm just locked in, whether it's a contract or negotiations or, you know, all these companies we're trying to acquire. If I have that stack in place, I'm a machine.
Yeah.
And
that's the winner.
yeah,
It's profound. There's a profound difference.
And it's funny because you see people who are just drinking coffee, they don't work out, they eat like crap, and then they look at you and they're mad. I'm like, why are you mad? Just go to the gym, take care of yourself. Like the first thing you do is,
I mean, people have the ultimate cheat code. You don't even have to go to the gym to like be back in shape. I look at people that are fat, and I'm like, you have every cheap tool in the world now.
yeah, GLPs.
They're not
Everything's
expensive.
at
They're
your
not that
fingertips.
expensive. Well, I always say this. I go, how much can you afford? And they're like, oh, maybe like $200 a month. I go, well, A, first of all, that's plenty. But B, I said, okay, times that per probably 6. They go, why? I go, because you're not going to eat the other $1,000 in food.
Yeah.
I go, you will actually save money going on a GLP.
Yeah.
I get, why do you think all these companies are suffering? They're not suffering because people aren't just eating. They're eating less, which means you would be paying less for food. Therefore, it is paying for itself. It's free.
That's so true.
It is
wow.
free.
Yeah.
If you decided, if you are drastically overweight, like drastically overweight, like you have an entire mission, and you're somebody that eats and drinks like 12 Cokes a day, hits fast food all the time, all this stuff, right? And you go on and just calculate what that cost is. Cut that into 1/3 and you'll be lucky to eat that much when you first start.
Yeah.
So whatever that, difference is what you can afford. So if I asked most people, they probably spend it down to inflation so high. They probably spend really overweight people because they buy cheap, crappy food. So you have to kind of calculate that it's a lot less expensive than a filet, right? I would say they still spend probably $50 a day.
Yeah, that's about right.
Is that like a reasonable
Sure.
task? Okay.
Especially if you're eating out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're at home cooking yourself to like 80 pounds overweight, that's impressive.
I'd want to be.
You're basically a chef.
Yeah.
Like you're in a restaurant at that point. I'm not about normal people. You're not like sitting there at home being like, ooh, let me see here. I guess you make nachos all day or something, but usually it's because of the quality of food that you're getting.
Mhm.
You're getting fast food and Cokes.
Yeah.
And things like that. Those are what killing you. So, but let's just say it's $50. So 30 days, $1,500 a month.
$50, yeah.
Okay. And that's it without any additional spending that you might do other things, right? Let's say you also go out to eat every Friday with your friends and you drop $200 on alcohol and food on Friday. And then twice a month you go to like I said, when you tally all this together,
$3,000 a month.
let's just say $3,000.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, I'll put you on $400 or $500 for the peptides. And that number goes from at least half. I'll save you $1,500.
Yeah.
Not to mention, you're going to live longer.
You'll feel better too.
You'll feel better. You'll start achieving more. So go spend $300 on your gym membership, way overpay. So you want to go,
Yeah.
right? Don't buy the $10 one. They're like, that's only $10. Go spend $300. So you're sitting there going, I'm paying $300. I better get my ass over there.
Yeah.
Right. Get the stack, talk to your doctor, get your blood work done and get on the mission. And at the end of the year, you're going to go, wow, I can go put a down payment on a BMW.
Yeah.
It's
and, and now look at me.
Yeah.
I can get a convertible because I want let the hair flow.
Yeah.
It's funny. I have a friend who's his wife called me one day. She's like, I'm really mad at you. I said, for what? He's like, you took away all my date nights. Now he doesn't even want to go out and eat anymore. I said, what do you mean? What did I do? You told him about GLPs.
Oh yeah. It is true. I mean, if you like eating, and drinking, it does curb it all.
Yeah.
It's
pretty,
that's why I don't take
it's
them.
pretty interesting. Like,
I love eating.
I mean, Trevor's a great chef, by the way, but it's really interesting how addictive this country can become. It's like, choose your addiction. Do you want to be addicted to being healthy? Because it's just as hard as being addicted to being fat and horrible. Eating healthy, going to the gym is just as hard as being overweight and all the doctor visits that you got to do.
Absolutely.
Well, also, I think food inflammation doesn't make anybody feel good. So it's almost like you're almost depressively eating yourself worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
Which oxytocin, Selank, things like that help in the brain. NAD help curb addictions. GLPs help curb addictions. There's so many things. There's a lot of like new products. A lot of the GLP stuff now going through trials on like addiction health.
Alcohol.
Yeah.
Just
Smoking cessation. There's people that are quitting smoking by being on GLPs.
Yeah. No, I mean,
they don't smoke.
There's a nurse.
I know, Eli Lilly, you're going to love this one, but Retta is probably the most perfect peptide product ever produced in low dose.
Yeah.
1 milligram a week. The rest of your life, almost every human being on earth would probably benefit from that. And they're the only ones that are going to be able to sell it next year.
They'd live longer.
I'm telling you right now, you'll eat a little less. You'll feel a little better. You'll lose a little blood. You won't have as much glucose in your blood. You'll have less inflammation. Your kidneys will like you more. Your liver will like you more because you're not going to quite drink as like literally.
You can only have one drink, bro, when you're on a GLP. Like one or two drinks.
You
max.
can.
Yeah.
I punish myself. It makes you feel like shit.
Yeah.
No, there's
too much sugar in your blood.
Yeah.
There's a nurse in our network. I was actually just talking to her the other night, and what she used to do was, she has a kid now, so she's not really putting herself out there. She would go down a Skid Row and give IV treatment of NAD and GLPs to fentanyl addicts and drug addicts, and it would completely curb their addiction.
Wow.
Yeah, but no matter what, that wiring, you got to keep it going.
There. The wiring's there. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, no, but that's so good. That's like a beautiful thing for a human to do.
Yeah.
And like, even if you save 1 in 10, 1 in 25.
People don't understand like whether it's being an
entrepreneur,
entrepreneur, a drug addict, surviving a surgery, overweight, you name, give yourself whatever title. There's working out and peptides can probably cure the majority of your problems.
I just spoke in front of those doctors in Orlando, and they asked me to go through so much. I think I went through 40 peptides in an hour and a half. I was speaking really fast and coughing like crazy. But when I was going through all this stuff, there's a few people in the audience like reading all the stuff I was putting, that like what the studies are out there that are going through.
That was a great deck, by the way.
But the greatest deck on earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ash has the greatest deck.
That was actually done by Trevor and the graphic design team. So you got to take some credit. Yeah.
No, but you guys, all the little fancy bells and whistles on there. It's like watching
it would twirl.
It's like watching It's a Small World form on a PowerPoint.
You click the next slide and you're like, ooh.
And then you're like, cool, the next one. Then it spins back in.
It was an important convention.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love those guys. Peter's a good guy. What else you got for me today?
So we touched on a few things, right? So we're going through this. Let's talk about longevity and playing the long game as athletes and leaders, right? When did longevity start becoming more important in the workplace, in our professional lives, in our personal lives? Right? Yeah.
I feel like that was a big trigger.
Yeah.
I think people finally got home, and they were home, and then a lot of people got really out of shape, but they also really learned to enjoy solitude. I think I said that right. Yeah. But they enjoyed like the small friendship groups again, and being home. They were eager to get out, but they learned how to be back, right? And not be overwhelmed. And then coming out of that and being like, oh my God, look what I did to myself. And some people use that to get in crazy shape. And the ones that got really bad shape, they got out and like, oh my God, I got to correct. And so many people corrected. I think the peptides and that whole movement and all that kind of all formed at the same time, GLPs, and all of a sudden it's like, blow up.
What peptides would you say help shift the body towards healthier aging?
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, all of them. I mean, technically, but I mean, if you really want to focus on like a few key players, NAD is huge. I think it really depends on who you are, but if you're going to just look at the basics, epithalon, run it 3 times a year. Right. MOTS-c, I have good mitochondrial health. I don't feel anything from MOTS-c, but I look at it like, okay, I don't feel like my car is like dying when I change the oil. Yeah. But I change the oil. Mm-hmm. So I do 20 milligrams 3 times a year.
Mhm.
I do like 5 over 5 days, 5 days, 5 days, 5. That's right. I just do 5 milligrams each 5 days. I do that 3 times a year. Put it in my calendar. This month I'm doing MOTS-c. I just run this constant like overwhelming cycle change. Klotho, which we release this week. Hopefully it's on the site. No way to make some adjustments. But Klotho is huge for like chronic kidney disease, kidney function, vascular health, brain health, heart. I mean, it's like this massive one. Like that's another big one. But if you only have a few bucks, if you're in good health, some kind of GHRH, testosterone type product, epithalon, NAD, great start. Great start for longevity.
Got it.
RNA repair. I mean, it's just so much mitochondrial function, addiction issues, brain health, body health, they all work. They catalyst off of each other. Telomere health, like all these things that you talk about that are so important in anti-aging. But then you get into FOXO4, humanin, all these other crazy ones, using bioregulators just to keep all your organs in good conditions, right? So
from an entrepreneur standpoint, though, why is longevity important to you?
Why the hell are you working so hard?
Yeah.
Most people, it's like kids. Okay. Do you want to see them for a long time? Yeah. Okay. Well, then you want longevity, right? I don't know about you, but entrepreneurship, like you're trying to do something unique, different, bold on your own, kind of, putting yourself out there, this risk. You want the reward because it is 10 times harder than just showing up at 8 to 5, right? And someone telling you every day what to do. If there was a blueprint of what we just did, everybody would have taken that.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't easy. Think about how many days we wanted to fucking run and jump out of a 20-story building.
Yeah.
I can, not like I actually ever would.
Yeah.
But there were hundreds of moments, and there still are, like just people that just hate. You're never going to hear me in here hating on anybody like these a-holes that do. And they're not helping anything. If you have an opinion, give it. That's fine. But they're allowed theirs too.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to hear me in here trashing people. And especially when they don't know what they're talking about. Like someone trashing us the other day, like, oh, Alpha Biomed, 503A, 503. Well, this is a scam. Well, we've never claimed that site is a 503A or B. It is a drug manufacturing product that we make. But if you want 503 or B, we have those too. Mm-hmm. We can sell you those.
It's funny
That's
you
a
say
different
that.
business.
Yeah, because look, as an attorney, I am not used to my client telling me, hey, this guy's talking a lot of shit. Can you go over there and, invite him out to dinner or see if we can, have a phone call?
Yeah.
I can bridge the piece here.
And they never.
And it's such a foreign concept to me because I'm used to getting a call, screw this guy, send him a cease and desist. We got to sue this guy. Trevor, the first thing he does is, hey, can you find out,
can you get this guy? Like I've tried reaching out.
He just wants to talk to him.
Yeah.
I just want to explain hey,
call. Yeah.
Hey, if you want to still hate on me after this, but I'd really like to explain because there are probably enough people that you do care about that probably watch that too and go, yeah, you're kind of an idiot. Like
it was a foreign concept to me where it was like, hey, can you go make peace with this guy? I'm like, wait.
Yeah, no, because there's so much confusion. And I think that's why certain individuals that have been so impactful, I think we can all look at the young gentleman who owns Ways to Wells.
Super cool dude, by the way.
Really nice guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, shout out to Brigham.
Yeah, Brigham this is the thing. He understands all of it. And he says things. And one of the first things when we talked the other day, he goes, hey, by the way, I love what you're doing. I just, some of that stuff I said is not really towards you. I go, I get it. It's like a general sense because there are a lot of people that are bathtubing things, right?
Yeah.
And that's not good. But I own 503As as well, like you. Mm-hmm. So I know what you're trying to explain out there. Just like when I try to explain it, like people, I go, oh, I make this. And like, is it 503? No. Is 503B? No. Well, you can't be doing that. And I go, you do realize that the entire country was never founded on that. 503B didn't exist until 2013. And the 503Bs started to exist because the 503As before that were a lot of these guys were trash. They were kind of looked at as like the Chinese peptide market or whatever that was going on. But there's people like us that, buy in, partner, own manufacturing sites in Irvine and San Diego and so forth, where we have FDA licenses, DEA licenses, drug manufacturing. Those are above 503A and B. We don't report to states. We function as manufacturers for the world. Every state. There's no like, oh, are you approved in the state? Yeah, we're drug manufacturers. We're approved in every state. Yeah. Like, there's no like, well, what about California? I'm like, yeah, our licensure is above the pharmacy network. Pharmacies are run by state pharmacy boards. We're not. We're run by the Federal Drug Administration, Food and Drug Administration.
Well, we have our state ones too.
No, we have our state ones too. I'm just I mean, people don't understand this. So you see, they just sit there and they blast you, and I sit there and I just feel bad. But it's also frustrating because, you just see people rant on, and it's like, well, why are you being such a dick anyway? Like, what'd I do to you? Mm-hmm. Like, there's nothing in there that said I did something to somebody. It's just these people want to cause conflict. But then also, like, you look at things where like companies just shut you down because, somebody down the road somewhere you're stealing their cheesecake.
Mm-hmm. I think you said it best. Success breeds contempt.
Yeah. Yeah. Popularity breeds contempt.
Popularity breeds contempt.
Yeah, it does.
Anyway,
that's just a natural course of things, right? But this is a good segue into, us three in this room, we train inside the gym. We approach life outside of the gym with ultimate tenacity, right? When when you have that mindset, there's going to be conflict in your life no matter what, right? But going to the gym, like you mentioned, helps really release some of that tension, lower that testosterone, so you can approach the day with an even-keeled mind, right? Regardless of if you train or not, if you take peptides or not, you're going to have conflict in your life. And having those hard sessions in the gym allow you to better address conflict, whether it's in the boardroom, whether it's with the prospect you're trying to sell, whether it's with the client, whether it's just in the natural workplace talking to your employees, right? So let's talk about conflict and how we manage conflict and how peptides and just what we do as a whole with our training regimens inside the gym help us address conflict outside of it.
He tries to kill him.
Yeah.
No, that's what he does to you. So he doesn't do that in person.
Yeah.
It's funny because we go to the gym and sometimes he's like, oh, you have that look in your eye. I don't want to hang out with you tonight. I was like, oh, what do you mean?
Oh, no, I see it. You walk this one.
Yeah. And when I see that look, I'm like, we're not rolling tonight.
Yeah.
You're on your own.
I'm not rolling, dude. I got to wake up at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I'm not doing this.
I was actually
There's a heavy bag over there.
I was talking to our coach last night. I was like, this is the only place in the world where you can kick someone's ass and then go grab food with them after.
Yeah.
And it's happened so many times. I've had my, ass kicked. I've kicked ass, but it's this yin and yang relationship because there's always someone bigger and better out there. And if you don't have that humbling experience and you think you're undefeated in the world, one day someone's going to come take your lunch money and you're not going to be ready for it.
And that's why going into the gym, going and doing those hard weight training sessions inside of the gym, going and doing jujitsu, doing all these things is so important because it allows us to better address conflict. You're going to lose from time to time, right?
It's okay.
You're not always going to have successes, right? No. But like having your wins, having your successes, but ultimately knowing how to address conflict in your life, right? Is super important. And that's what jiu-jitsu does for me. That's what weightlifting does for me. That's what allows me to be a better husband, a better son, a better business owner, a better steward for my clients like Trevor, right? It's just, it's so important. And then you throw in peptides into it and it's even better, right?
I'll use this as an example. There's a difference between the guy who gets submitted and quits jujitsu or just stops showing up than the guy who got submitted and goes on YouTube or Instagram and watches videos on how to prevent that submission in the future. Mm-hmm. And I think that
one's an entrepreneur and one's not.
And I think that, like I was going to say about Trevor, he's been bodybuilding. He's constantly trying to find these new methods, new products, new ways, new business models. I mean, the ability to constantly adapt and be like water is what gives that runway to accomplish the goals you're accomplishing, right? If you're just stagnant and you're, I guess comfortable is the right word. The day you become comfortable and the day you stop showing up, the guy who's uncomfortable and showing up every day is going to take your spot. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to just add on the longevity stuff. I'm ultra competitive. And one of the reasons why I take peptides is I want to think like this, feel like this for the next 30, 40 years. Mm-hmm. Because, we've built something nice. I don't want anyone to take it away. I want to give it away.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I do the things I do, because this longevity, feeling good. You look at people who are 70 years now versus 100 years ago, 70-year-olds were, you looked like, when you were 30, you looked 70. Now you have 70-year-olds on TRT. They look amazing. They got
Yeah.
6-packs. And you're like, I want to be like that guy when we're 70. But the reality is, with the peptides and everything,
Yeah.
Trevor is going to be 120 years old with a 6-pack and Viking hair, you
Right,
know?
right.
And that's like,
Let's hope.
fingers crossed. But that's the beauty of it all, of just showing up every day and not quitting.
Mhm.
And do peptides help? Do the inside, you know,
I hope they're helping my insides, because I'll tell you this much right now. Stress is still not good for us no matter
Yeah.
what. Long hours and not sleeping, still not good for us. And we all, entrepreneurs, suffer from those things too. And we do have our horrible cheat meals and times we don't. But like I said, by going to the gym and kind of forcing that mentality in the head, it's still, that kind of makes you eat better, drink more. Like I said, because you don't want your gains to go to waste, or you don't want to be tired when you go to the gym at 7:00.
No.
And like, you know, you're like, okay, I need to eat through the day and get my meals in, because I don't want to, you know, lose to kave.
Yeah.
No.
True.
You know, but
the
for real,
the
if that
best-
you have that
yeah.
goal, you're going to make sure you get there.
Yeah.
the best gym sessions, the best jujitsu days are the days you don't want to go and you go.
Oh, I know.
Mm.
It's like when I golf hammered.
Yeah.
My best days. You can ask my brother. I golfed with Kali and a couple other guys in Hawaii, and I took a buddy out. He owns a bunch of like restaurants, clubs, whatever. And I remember just time changed the whole deal. I don't know. I come out the door and the sun is up, and I'm like, oh God. I'm like, oh, at least I got like 2 hours, 3 hours. I can take a nap before I have to go golf.
Yeah.
I got back and he goes, no, you idiot. Time change. You have an hour. I'm like, no. So I'm like, I can't go to bed for an hour. That will not help. So I just stayed up and got soup with them. They just tried to like sober me up a little bit. And we went and golfed, and Kali stopped golfing after like the 4th hole just to watch me. My opening drive was like 325. By the way, this is with rental clubs.
Yeah.
And then I take a 5-iron, so opening hole, par 5, and I stripe this thing, put it 4 feet from the pin. I tap in for an eagle. Opening hole, I'm like, wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
And then the next one is a par 4. I stripe this thing 8 feet from the green, chip on birdie. Next hole is a par 3, birdie. Next hole, birdie. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm 5 under on first 4 holes.
And this is the day you did not want to wake
And
up.
I did not want to go golf. I did not want anything. This is the greatest. Oh, don't worry, it all went to hell at one point. The wheels did fall off. But I ended up shooting. I remember I was like 5 under after 9 holes. I've never been under 9 holes in my life. I was basically, I had another birdie. The rest were pars and a bogey, the front 9. And then right around the 14th hole, someone decided to like, let's take more shots and stop just drinking. Like we still had little shots, but like, and 2 of the guys ended up passing out. Like we drank a lot that day too. It was bad. This is a bad story. But yeah. Anyway, that was my best round of golf I ever shot. I shot a 75. So like I said, the wheels came back off, but I shot a 75 with no sleep.
And he hasn't had a drink since, by the way.
No. I never told you what I drank. Just said I drank.
So if there was like a nugget you could give, you know, someone that's aspiring, you know, to be someone like you, like to be an entrepreneur, to get into shape, or someone that is an entrepreneur that's already in shape, but trying to introduce peptides, you know, into their life to essentially develop that whole ecosystem in terms of the ethos you created, what would that nugget be that you give them?
That's tough because you got to look at who you're talking to, because some kid with a Princeton degree is a whole different pep speech from someone like me that, you know, didn't have any of that.
Yeah.
Right. So my advice is going to be different, but the same thing I got to say is one of the, don't sacrifice your health for your position in life. Otherwise you're probably working way too hard for somebody else. Because even like with how hard, because we work for ourselves, we still take that time. We go, no, that piece is too important. So, you know, your health is wealth type mentality. Don't give that up. And if you have to do that for somebody else, they're using you.
Yeah.
So go work for somebody else. So.
Powerful.
Mine's really simple. Losses are blessings if you learn from them. You know, I've worked for law firms, I've worked for the government, I've had my own businesses, but I've failed so many times until I finally reached this point. And the only reason I'm here is because I never quit. And eventually, all those long nights, all those nights where you're doubting yourself, you're fighting with your wife, your girlfriend, you're hearing all of this dogma of you should just go get a 9 to 5, or you should go do this, or you should go do that. Well, the day you cave in on that is the day you really lost. As long as you show up and you take these losses as lessons and you don't quit. I said it earlier, someone's not going to show up that day and you'll take their spot. And when you do, you better hold on to it tight, because your time is infinite. It's not infinite, right? It's limited. So as an entrepreneur, don't quit on yourself, because it will pay off. It could be 5 years, 10 years. You might get lucky and get it in 6 months, but everybody's success story is different. And when you make it, those 5, 10 years of misery, it was all worth it. And they're all going to be super cool stories that you can pass on to your kid, to your friends, or to people who look up to you and want to be like you in the future. So that's my little nugget. Just don't quit.
Amazing.
Yeah. How about you?
For me, so longevity is in direct correlation with time, right? We all know, like you said, time is not infinite, right? In fact, I think it's true. The most valuable asset that we have is time, right? Because it's fleeting. The worst punishment that our society and every society gives someone when they do something bad and they slap them on the wrist is what? We're going to take away your time. From everything you love, from all your people, we're going to throw you in a box. We're taking away your time. And then if you're in that place and you act bad in that place, then what do? They separate you from all the other criminals and they put you in a little box, a smaller box, to take away your time from all those criminals, right? So if time is the most valuable asset, and then we tie in longevity and the things that we're doing to make ourselves a better person all around, whether it's lifting weights, whether it's jujitsu, whether it's throwing in peptides, right? For me, it's about trying my best, which I know I'm not, I'm battling it every day, but trying to be the best steward for my clients, the best, son to my, mother and father, the best husband to my wife, the best friend to my friends. And that's what it's really about. Because we know at some point it's going to get cut off, whether you live to 125 or you live to your 85 or you live to your 72, because that's the average, lifespan of a male in America right now. Right. But it's about, for me, it's just about trying my best, which I know I'm going to fail, but I'm going to keep trying to be the best person I can possibly be. And then throwing in things like peptides, exercising, doing all these things helps me at least slowly, step by step, try to accomplish that goal.
Love it.
Time is your best friend and worst enemy.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So Trevor, why don't you give the viewers any cool nuggets that are coming up, any cool things that are in the pipeline, and then we can end it.
Oh, the pipeline. So, we're shifting a lot of the business. I know this will seem like more work for some people, but we're adding medical directors for everybody, for all of our businesses. So you'll be able to go on and get all your prescriptions done. So you can get your testosterone, you can do your estrogen. We're going to focus a lot on women, a lot more women's health, which is good. I've been wanting to do more of that since the beginning. We also have a handful of 503A and Bs coming on board. Our B is finishing being built in the next couple of weeks. So we're going to get a lot more capacity, which is exciting. Yeah, no, it just, there's hair products are going to be a big one. Our skin products that are new, or I love, we're going to extend on those. Klotho released this week, fulostatin, recumbent fulostatin specifically, is releasing in a number of weeks. And that will be massive for all those people that were looking for that steroid type alternative to a peptide. That's kind of the one. Yeah. Like it's a once every 2 week shot.
Oh, wow.
You can do it once a week if you want. For the increased methodology, obviously you're going to spend a lot more money, but most people see about 1 kilogram a week of lean muscle tissue getting put onto the body.
Oh, a kilo. So what, 2.2 pounds?
Yeah, that's kind of where you go. So like you can put on real weight. So a 6 month go, you're not just keep growing, but you're shutting off that myostatin receptor. So you're shutting off the governor. So yeah, at some point you have to eat enough to put weight on. But for people that are just trying to put on weight it's that one that you can kind of just continuously just take a shot every 2 weeks. You keep the body in check and decreases muscle wasting, increase insulin sensitivity, all that good jazz.
Wow.
Yeah. Helps grow hair, like all sorts of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Cool.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, boys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Pleasure.